of the 5-day challenge. Let me send. Amazing. Great. Thank you so much, DK Sensor. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Vijay. Great. I hope if I'm audible. If I'm audible, please type A in the chat box. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. People who are joining us on YouTube, I request you to go ahead and click the link in the description for the Zoom session so we can interact directly there, right? So you can find the link to the Zoom session in the description itself. Okay, great. So let's begin. So how many of you are joining in for the first time? Sure, DK, sir. Thank you so much for the input. Definitely take care of that. So we'll try to make it a little longer. So yeah, so people who are watching us on social channels, I request you to click on the Zoom link that you can find in the description. Okay, so let me share it on the chat itself. Okay, so share the link. We have 13 people on YouTube itself, right? So let's begin. Our sessions are going to start in the same format that we have done. We'll be doing our Ho'oponopono technique. The Ho'oponopono technique is a Hawaiian technique which helps clear out the self-doubt and negativity. Okay, so in this technique, I'll be taking my name. Just a moment. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, so I'll be taking my name and you'll be taking yours. I'm going to say Sachi. You're going to take your own name, right? So we're going to talk to our beautiful spirit, our energy, right? I request you to put your hand on your heart. Be in a focused environment where your phone distractions are not closer. Okay, so put your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath. Relax your breathing. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheek. Relax your shoulders. Relax your back. Relax your feet. So the technique requires us to, speak these 4 statements. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And we'll be talking to our own self. Let's begin. Close your eyes. I'm really sorry, dear Sachi. Here you'll be taking your name. I'm really sorry, dear Sachi, for not taking care of you. I'm so sorry for disconnecting with you. I'm so sorry for leaving you alone. I am the one who judges you so much. I am the one who criticizes you so much. Please forgive me for underestimating you. Forgive me for not believing in you. Thank you, dear Sachi, for letting me have this beautiful experience of life. Thank you so much. From now on, it doesn't matter who doesn't love you. It doesn't matter who doesn't appreciate you. Because I promise you, from now on, I love you. I am here and I would never let you go again. Put your hands together, rub them, and put that energy to your face. Yes, take a deep breath. Amazing. Yes. So I would request you to put one word in the chat box. What was the result of this Ho'oponopono technique? How was it before and after? Peaceful, calm, relaxing. That's great. Okay. Hello, Deepajyoti. Hello, Omar. Hello, Prajakta. Hello, Rishabh. Hello, Shashwat. Hey Tushar. Kumar says it's good. Yep. Prashant says amazing. Awesome. Relaxed. Yes. So people who are joining us on our social channels, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, I request you to go and head to the chat section, click the link, and join us directly on Zoom itself. Okay. Great. And Deepajyoti says refreshed. Okay. So let's begin. So I'm going to share the link for today's session on the chat. Great. And people who are watching us on YouTube, you can see that the link is there in the description as well. Let me share it on the chat group. A very good evening, Nagarajan. Hello, Kishore sir. Hello, Rishabh. Great. Let me share my screen. Okay. So let me know if you're able to see my screen. Amazing. Okay, great. So in this session, we are going to cover conditionals and functions. Okay. So let's practice by exercise. We are on the exercise 1. So now, how many of you have joined yesterday's session? Type me in the chat box. Yes, thank you so much, Prajakta. Yes, yesterday we have understood the very basics of it. Today we are going to learn. You can directly go ahead and copy. That's not a problem, Prajakta. You can watch it on YouTube itself on the channel, right? So now we are taking this first exercise, which is a conditional. Now what we are doing here is we are creating a new variable. The name of the variable is toss. Okay. Now we have given it a value. The value given is heads. Okay. Now what we are going to do, the exercise says on a coin toss, if it's heads, India bats. If it's tails, Australia bats. So this is the logic that we are building. Okay. So now what we are doing is we are going to write an if conditional. So this is how it starts. We're going to say if toss, which is the variable, equal to heads, right? Equal to means here we are going to do a check, right? So when there is a single equal to, it is definition. Okay. So now if toss equal to heads, we are checking, and then there is a semicolon, right? Then we are going to print India's batting, else we are going to print Australia's batting, right? So let us try to run it. Okay. So now this is a statement, if statement. This is called the conditional. Till the semicolon, this is called the conditional. And else means if this condition is false, then this is going to get executed. Okay. So I'm going to run this. Okay. Now because the toss is heads, India is batting. Now let's just say if the toss is tails, I'm going to run it, Australia's batting, right? So how many of you understood what we have done here? If you understood the conditional, first conditional that we have done, type U in the chat box. Thank you so much, TK sir. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Sushant. Great. Okay, so Tushar, what we are doing here is we are creating a variable. Okay, so in this variable, let's just say the variable is the toss. Like now this is the coin toss. If the result of the toss is heads, okay, then India is batting. Then the program says India is batting. And if it is tails, it's going to say Australia is batting. So that is the exercise. Okay. So now what we are doing, we are starting off the conditional. So now this is called the if condition. Here what we are doing, if toss, the variable equal to heads, meaning if it is heads, then print India is batting, else print Australia is batting. So now because the toss is not heads, right? If it was heads, it would have printed India is batting. Because it is not heads, it is going to print Australia is batting, right? So that is what we have done here. I hope that is helpful, Tushar. Great. Okay. Yes, we have got a lot of views. Thank you so much. Now, similarly, we'll practice a little by more exercise. Thank you so much, Deepa Jyoti. Now, what we're trying to do here is, so people who are running it parallelly, I request you to take a screenshot like you've done yesterday. Take a screenshot of your device, your mobile tab or desktop, whatever you have run, and put that on the group itself, right? So people who are watching us on YouTube, LinkedIn, any of our social channels, you can see there's a link to the WhatsApp group in the description. You can join us there. The group is filling fast. I request you to go and check if you're able to join. Okay, great. How many of you are able to run it parallelly along with me? Type R in this chat box. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Prasad. Thank you, Sham. Okay, so good that you're able to run it parallelly, because it is easy for you to run the programs from the exercise below itself. Okay, that's great. Now, in the exercise 2, what we are saying, what is the statement given? Logic of traffic signals. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is, now we're creating a variable. The name of the variable is signal, and we have given it a default value, which is green, right? If signal equal to green, so here we are doing a check, right? If signal equal to green, signal equal to green, then print go, right? Okay, so if at all we have to have another statement which says if signal equal to red, then stop. Like, let's just say, then what we are going to say, if, for example, else if, for example, if the first statement is false, check the second statement. But instead of writing else if, we have a shorthand notation. It is called elif, right? If elif signal equal to red, then we are going to print stop. Okay, so let's just say now, because it is green, I'm going to run it. So now, because the signal is green in the variable, it printed go. Now, if else if the signal is red, it is going to print stop. Let's just say if the statement is, if the signal is red, I'm going to run it, it is going to say stop. So now we've given a little thinking ability to the program, right? You've given the Python program a little thinking ability to do something based upon a condition, right? So this is how we slowly make our programs run by a logic. And similarly, we give it more thinking ability as we go into our deeper data science courses as well, right? So how many of you understood how the second exercise we were able to do, the logic of traffic signals, right? If you understood, type U in the chat box. Thank you so much, Prajakta. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Sham. Thanks, Vijay. Thank you, DK sir. Thank you, Deepa Jyoti. Thank you, Pawan Kumar. That's great. Okay, so many of you have understood, right? So what happens if both of the statement, yeah, so Prajakta, you can run it based, you can use the same link that I have pasted on the chat. Okay, so you can open that particular link and use whatever code there is there in the exercise and add it in the right side panel of the the program, right? So you can add it here as I'm doing, and you'll be able to do it, right? So now if it is green, this will work. Else if it is red, it will work. Now then we can say else, right? If both of the statements are false, then go do the third statement, like, which is else statement. So whenever the both statements become false, it is automatically going to print the third statement, which is in the else statement. Okay, so now I'm going to say ready. Okay, so now I'm going to run it. Now because it is red, it is going to say this. Now I'm going to say it is yellow. Okay, so now if the signal is yellow, it is not green, then it will not print go. If it's not red, it will not print stop. Because both of these are false, it is going to print get ready. Okay, so now it is ready. Okay, So now this is how we have used if statement, else if statement, and else statement, right? So how many of you have clearly understood? People who have not understood, right? If you're not understood, type N in the chat box. Yes, a lot of people have understood. That is great. So we can proceed ahead. Amazing. Thank you so much. Right. So I request any one of you to maybe unmute and let us know if you're able to follow what we're doing here. Right. DK sir, would you want to unmute? Yeah. Even Devajyoti, Prajakta, you can go ahead and share us the result. Like, were you able to do it or not? Okay, great. Yes, thank you so much. So basically, I understand that all of you are able to do it. Yes, Nagarajan sir. Yeah, you want me to, you can go ahead and speak. Yes, sir. Which city you are from, sir? Hello. Dibajyoti, you'd want to go? That is fine. Like, we're a very small group of people here. So I request you to unmute and share your experience. Great. Okay. So we will be taking the feedback again towards the end. I request you to, prepare for it. You can just unmute and go ahead and ask your question if there is anything. Okay. So I understand like most of you have got what we have explained till now. So now we're going to take up another exercise. Yeah. Manoranjan sir. Yeah. So which city you are from, sir?
Kolkata.
Kolkata. Okay. So what do you do, sir?
Working.
Like working in non-IT or IT field, sir?
IT.
Oh, that's
IT,
great.
but yeah. But not into programming.
No worries at all, sir. So are you able to program a little, like, use a few of the statements? Yes, sir. Yeah. So are you able to, follow what we are doing here? Is it a little clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming online and, letting us know your feedback. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Right? Great. So this is the first time, sir, you are using Python, or before also you have done it?
No, first time.
Okay. So how is the experience, sir, before and after? What is the result?
Yeah, I used to do little bit programming earlier in C and other things. So the syntax and all, whatever, if and else, all the statements. It's okay. I'm able to implement through a new tool, basically new language.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. That's really nice of you. So I would request everyone to write in the chat. This we do it for everyone. MPTY. What about you? Great. Thank you so much, sir. Best wishes. Yes. Sat, you have unmuted. Would you want to go and speak something about it? Okay. Let's first go through the exercise a little, and then we'll come back. Okay. Thank you so much. Now that we have done the second exercise, now we are going to follow the third one also. Now the exercise states, if anyway, this is like a college, grading logic. If somebody has got a score of 90 or higher, they should get an A. If they have got something between 65 and 89, they should get a B. If they've got anything below 65, then there is an F. Okay. So we are going to try to run this particular statement. Okay. So people who have run it parallelly along, I request you to go ahead and take the screenshot of this, right? So that you can run it and put it on the group itself. Okay. Amazing, right? So now we are going to do the logic, which is this. I'm going to use these statements also. Statement says, if we have got 90 or higher, then give an A. If it is between 65 and 89, then a B. Anything below 65 should receive an F. Okay. So now how we do it is, first we will create a variable where we are saving our score. So let us call that variable as score. Score, let's just say currently it is 94. Okay. Now we have created a score. The first statement, right? First, let us use a print statement. Now, let's just say grade is A. Okay. So what would be the statement here? So when should we give the grade as A? When the score is 90 or higher, right? So how do we do that? We do it in this way. We say score is greater than or equal to, and greater than equal to 90, right? So now what happens is, first it will check this condition, and if it will see if the score is greater than or equal to 90, and then it will print, right? So I'm going to remove the below statements and I'm going to run it. Okay. So if I run this, something like a signal, this thing only, but here this is based upon a numeric, right? Now, because the score is 94, it is greater than or equal to 90. Because that statement got true, we are able to print the grade is A, right? So how many of you understood this particular statement here? If you have understood, type U in the chat box. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Rajan. Thank you, Sushmita. Thank you, Divajyoti. Thank you, Satkum. Great. So you understood this particular statement. Now, this, you can put it on the chat box. What do you think should be here? What will be the statement here? Else if it is not 90, less than, or let's just say if the score is 73, okay? Because it is between 65 and 89, we should be able to give a B, right? So I'm going to use the same statement. Print, we're going to see when we are going to use a return statement also, right? So print, the grade is B. Okay. What do you think the statement would be here? The condition would be here, right? Yes. So the score, if it is greater than or equal to 60, what is the question? 65. Then we are going to use an operator called AND operator. We are going to say AND if the score is greater than or equal to 65, or if the score is less than or equal to 89. So we are going to do a combination of the conditions by using an AND operator, right? So if this condition becomes true, then it is going to print the second statement. Okay. Else, if it is not both, it is going to print the grade is F, right? So how many of you understood this particular? Let us run and then we'll take the feedback. Now, because the score is 73, this particular condition got false, and then yes. So let me repeat. So now score is a variable. This will store the score of any particular student. Okay. So that is not a problem, project. I would request you to take a screenshot and rerun it. Okay. So now if you see, if score is greater than or equal to 90, so this is the first check. Okay. So I'm going to say this is check 1. Is going to check if the score is greater than or equal to 90. If it is greater than or equal to 90, it is going to run this particular block. Like if signal is equal to green, it will run print go. Similarly, we are doing it. But here it is a numeric condition. Okay. So if the score is greater than or equal to, in signals, what we have done, if it is equal to green, we have checked. Now here we are going to check if it is any number between from 90 to and over, it's going to run the first statement. Okay. So you understood this particular statement, right? If you understood this particular statement, type me in the, you in the chat box. Okay, that's clear, right? So now what we are going to do, else if it is not 90, then we are going to do the second statement, right? If the score is greater than or equal to 65, because the second condition says if it is 65 to 89, should get an B. Okay. So if it is greater than or equal to 65, and then we are doing a combination of another statement, which is if the score is less than or equal to 89, it could be 65 to 89, anything. If there is any number between this particular numbers, 65 and 89, then print B. Right? So how many of you understood this? This is very similar to the statement that we have run here. If signal, else if the signal is red, then print stop, right? Here, but it is a numeric condition, right? So we are checking if the score is between 65 and 89. So if you understood this, type U in the chat box. Okay, great. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Prasad. Okay. Now, what we are doing is, if both of the statements are false, right? If it is not equal or greater than 90, then if it is not between 65 and 89, then it will go and print the third statement, right? Now, because it is 73, it is printing grade is B. But if it is anything like, let's just say 54, if I'm going to run it, it's going to print grade is F, right? So now you can see that we have given a little thinking ability to the Python program, right? It is able to score, grade that particular student based upon the score, right? So how many of you understood this? If you understood this, type U in the chat box. Okay, now you understood. Great. So yeah, thank you, Sarkum. Thank you, DK Sense. So this is how we use conditionals, right? So this is a little about conditionals, how we have done. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to convert this into a function, right? So now what is function? A function is a repeatable block of code, right? So instead of doing it like this, we are going to do it in a different way, right? So this is conditionals. You can also use conditionals to run your code, but you can even use functions to make it a little more reusable. Okay, I'm going to show you that, right? So now what we're going to do is, so in this function, so what, let me run through from here itself. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to remove all of this. People who have run it parallelly to me, I hope you have taken the screenshot, and once you run it, you can put it on the group. Okay, amazing, right? So now in functions, what we're going to do is I'm going to learn, as we are going to learn by exercise, we want to create a function. The name of the function is called coin flip. On a coin toss, if it's heads, India bats, and if it's tails, Australia bats, right? But what we are going to do it, we are just going to change the syntax a little. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. I have here how functions work is, instead of defining a variable, you're going to define it like this. So this is name of the function. The name of the function is coin flip. Okay, and then this is the variable name. Like earlier we created here toss equal to heads, right? Now here we are passing it in the brackets itself. Okay, right? So now when we send a variable directly in the function header in here itself, this is called parameter. That's great. Okay, so how many of you understood like how we are defining a function, right? If you understood this, type U in the chat box. Okay, thanks, Prashant. Yeah, so we'll run it and it becomes easier. Okay, so now what we have done, we are going here using the logic that we have already used. Okay, so what is the logic we have used here? I'm going to say if toss equal to heads, print India is batting. else print Australia is batting, right? So now the logic, whatever we have written in conditionals, is going to remain the same. Yeah, so sat, basically the name of the function here, we are giving our own name, right? Basically because they have said, make a function, the name of the function is coin flip, right? So that is why we are using it as a coin flip. You can put any name also, that's not a problem, right? So we have given a definition, and in the definition we have given the logic of the toss. If it's heads, then India is batting. If it is tails, then Australia is batting. So this is the function. Now what we are going to do is we do something called the function call. Okay, so now the function is defined. If at all we are going to say coin flip heads, okay, if I'm going to run it, it is going to run as the heads will go here. Toss is equal to heads. Now it will check if the toss is equal to heads. If it is heads, then it will say India is batting. Else, it is going to say Australia is batting. Okay. So let me just try to restart the session here. Okay. So now if you see, I'm going to run this coin flip heads. This is called call function call. Okay. So now if I run it, okay, so basically here you have to be careful. You have to be indenting it properly, right? Indenting as in have it inside the statement. Let us try to run it. Okay, so if this else is not in line of if, right? So I hope you have both of them in the same line, because now we have discussed this particular statement is going to help you understand what is the error, right? So now you understood that the else and if has to be in the same line. Okay, let us try running it. Now it says India is batting, right? Because we have said in the coin flip, we have passed heads. So that is why India is batting. Now, if I change it to tails, okay, so you need not know what is the function, right? So now I can click on this arrow to hide the function details. You need not know what is there in the function. You can just say coin flip and pass tails in here. I'm going to say Australia is batting. If I'm going to say heads, it's going to say India is batting, right? So this is the function call. So this is how we create functions. The same conditional that you have written, you converted it into a function. So when it becomes a function, you can reuse that particular function many times, right? So okay, so to hide this nothing, you have to click on this arrow from where your function name is there, right? So you can run it. So now whenever it is heads, it is going to say India is batting. Whenever it is tails, it is going to say Australia is batting. So you need not know what is there in the function logic, right? So that is what is a function. So how many of you understood what is a user function? Function is used to call the logic many times, right? Even if you are not aware what is there in the function, you can go ahead and do many function calls to get your desired output, right? So if you understood this, type U in the chat box. We'll do a few more exercises and you'll be clear with the logic. Okay, so Prajakta says understood. That's great. Okay. Manoranjan says understood. That's great. Amazing. So now we are going to do the second function we have here. This function is also very simple. Now the function exercise says returns the square of any number. Okay. Now I hope you have taken the screenshot so that you can put it on the group. Okay. Now I'm going to say here, the definition is first we have written out a name of the function. The name of the function is square, right? So here you have given a name, like a variable name, which is n. Okay. We are going to paste it here. Now here what we have done, we have created another variable which is squared, right? So here we are going to say n power 2, right? Or n into 2 is n power 2. Double asterisk means power 2. or you can say n into n, right? So when you do this, it is going to say square of that particular number, right? So now what it is going to do, it is going to print the square of the number is the next statement. Then it is going to print the whatever is there in the variable squared. Okay, so it is going to return squared, right? So when you this particular statement also will explain, right? So this is the function. So now, for example, I am going to call the function, say square of 2. It is going to, n is going to come here. The squared variable will be 2 into 2. It will have, the squared will be 4, and it is going to print square of the number is 4, right? And it's going to return 4. Okay, so let us try to run this. Okay, I'm going to run it. So now you can see that it printed the square of the number, which is 4, and it also returned 4. Okay, so for example, now I do not know what is the logic of the function. I can just say square of 5. It's going to be, the square of the number is 25. Even if I want to do something complex, let's just say square of 49. It's going to say the square of the 49 is some number, right? So this is the function call. So the benefit of functions is you can write it once and keep using it many times, right? So how many of you understood now a little clear how functions work? If you've understood, type U in the chat box. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Prashant. Right, so people who are running it now, you can, yeah. So DK Sense, thank you so much, Prajakta, Dibajyoti, thank you. So basically, Sat, how this works is, first we have created a function. The name of the function is square, right? So whenever you want, however you name it, you have to call it in the same fashion, right? So square of n, we have created a function. When you're defining it, you're going to use the semicolon. Then in that, you're creating a variable, right? Let's just say new variable. The name of the variable is squared. In that, you are saving n into n. The square of the number is n into n, right? So you're going to save n into n, right? Then you're going to print square of the number is whatever the squared variable was having is going to print n. For example, if you're passing 9, squared will be 9 into 9 and is going to print 9 9s are 81, right? So that is how this runs. So because it's a function, you need not have to know what is there in the function. Whenever you are using next time, you can just say square of 9, and when you run it, it's going to say the square of the number is 81. Okay, so I hope that you understood that. If you understood, type U in the chat box. Okay, great, amazing. So now that we've understood how to use functions, we are going to just do understand a few variables, few functions that inbuilt functions that are also there. So now this is a customized function. I hope you have taken a screenshot so that you can run screenshot of not my screen, not the Zoom session. Take a screenshot of when you have run it and put that on the group. Okay. Now we are going to just to understand a few inbuilt functions. Okay, so now Nagarajan sir, very good question. Why to use return? Okay, so now what happens in return is, for example, here, if I'm going to write a function like result, like let's just say I'm going to create a variable called result. Okay, I'm going to say result is equal to square of 9. When I'm going to print, it is going to just print 81, right? But when I say return, this function will return 81. Square of 9 is 81, and this result is this 81 is going to save in the variable result. So return means it is going to return wherever it is called, right? So basically you can save the variable. So that is why you use a return statement. For example, now if I want to let's just say use a little more logic, let's add to the result plus 1 or something else also. I'm going to, I can do that. Like let's just say print result. So you can go ahead and print result. For example, we do not have a print statement in the logic. Let's just say I'm going to comment it. You comment it by using the hash symbol. Now here you're not printed. The number is getting squared and your return squared. Okay. So now this return will save the result in this particular variable. Now I'm going to print result. Okay, so if I run it, you can see it's only printing whatever is there in this particular variable. Okay, so that is how this works. So I hope you understood the statement return. Now return is going to return it to the variable. Okay, I hope that was clear. Yeah, so I would urge you to go ahead and explore and understand a little more also. That's not a problem. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Now that we have thank you. So now that we have understood, we'll understand a few of these inbuilt functions. Now these functions, squared or traffic signal functions, coin toss, are functions created by us, but there are a few functions which are inbuilt only, right? So Python already has these inbuilt. Now, for example, there is a variable which says maximum. Okay, now max. So now max is a is a function which is going to take a lot of values in it and is going to return the maximum number, right? So now what is happening here is this particular function max. Okay, let me write it here. Function is a max of this, right? So it is going to return whatever is the maximum out of this. Okay, and this is going to get saved in the variable that we are defining here, and we are going to print that particular result. Okay, so now out of 8, 92, 32, 34 and 119, the maximum is 119. This default function, so we have not defined max anywhere. It was already there, defined within Python only. If I run it, so it is going to say, okay, so remember to have a parenthesis bracket here. If I'm going to run it, it's going to print 119. If I'm going to say the maximum number is like 504, if I'm going to run it, it's going to give us the maximum number only. Okay, so how many of you understood the inbuilt max function? If you understood, type U in the chat box. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Similarly, there is a min function. If I'm going to say minimum, it is going to save, it is going to save it here. And I'm going to say print minimum. Okay, sorry for the spelling. Okay, I'm going to run it. So it's going to print the least out of that particular statement. So if I have 2, it's going to return 2, and that 2 gets printed. So min, max, both are default functions. Okay, so there's another inbuilt function also which we can use on strings. Okay, so now we have created a variable length, and the name of the function is len. Okay, now here if you give any particular string, like for example, I'm going to type my name here. If I'm going to print length, you have to have the brackets here. It is going to give the length of that particular title. Okay, I'm going to run it. It's going to give 10. So you can even type your own name and or any other word, like for example, let's just say tiger. I'm going to run it. It's going to say the length is 5. Okay, so the 2 is the before result, and this is the length of that particular string. So this is also an inbuilt function. So how many of you understood what is an inbuilt function and how we use this min, max, or length? If you understood it, type U in the chat box. Great. Thank you so much, Sat. Thank you so much, DK sir. Thank you so much, Vijay. Thank you, Sham. Thank you, Sushmita. That's great. Okay. So now we have progressed a little further in our Python learning journey. We have learned how conditionals are used and how to make functions and use conditionals with that, right? So that particular, okay, Deepajyoti, the link, whatever we have given you on the day 2, you can use that to make the notes and try using it. Okay. Yes. Okay. So thank you so much for joining in. So how much how Can anybody unmute and share their experience on how was the result before and after? Were you able to understand the conditionals? Were you able to understand the functions? Yeah, so I would request anyone to unmute and go ahead and share us your feedback. Dibajyoti, you want to go? Or DK Sense, Sat, Nagarajan sir? That's great. Okay. Yes, thank you so much, Bipasha. Thank you, Dibajyoti. Thank you, DK Sense. Thank you, Manoranjan sir. Thank you, Nagarajan. Thank you, Prajakta. Thank you, Rishabh. Thank you, Shashwat.
Thank you.
Yes, amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Manoranjan sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that how was the Dibajyoti says interactive session? Okay, great. So now that you have done this for consequently second day, so how is your feeling like? How is that result that you're able to feel, right? And what is the change that you are able to notice for this 30 minutes particular session? You can put one word in the chat box. Learning, growth, fear is gone. Okay, so that is the intent of this whole session. We want to make you experience that Python is easy. And towards the 5th day, Manoranjan sir says, amazing. DK Sen says, exciting. Right? That's great. So how it works is on the 4th and 5th day, we're going to talk more about our, AI bronze program also. Now this particular learning growth day by day. Thank you so much. So now this particular 5-day program is a portion of our AI bronze. This particular 5-day program and the certifications are absolutely, a gift from the team. But if at all you are serious and you want to, take it as a career and grow in this particular area, thank you so much, DK sir. Right. You can even sign up for our course, which is the AI bronze. Right. So in that, we are going to handhold you in the same fashion to, switch careers, to, also help you understand the deeper concepts of Python as well. Right. So it's more about practice. The more you give time to one particular thing or that particular area, you start seeing results in that particular area. So we ensure that you are going to, follow these particular lines. We're going to have check-ins. We are going to, ensure you are seeing the progress also, right? And we also have in our program, how do you go ahead and crack the interviews, and all those things are there, which we'll discuss on the 4th and 5th day, right? So how many of you feel that you would want to take Python as a career, right? Or data science as a career? How many of you want to get into the IT industry? Type me in the chat box. Thank you so much, Prajakta. Thank you, Tushar. Right. So I would, definitely ask you to go ahead, learn all these, concepts, revise them, re-exercise them. Okay. So that we go forward, and, from there also you can learn. Okay. And the program that we are talking about, the AI bronze, just so that you know what is the cost. Like some people are asking what is the cost of that particular program. So the cost of that particular program is 6,990. Okay, so this particular program will give you access to material where you can become a data science professional. So this is the first level of program. Once you get a data science job, now data science jobs have packages from anywhere between 6 to 7L to 9 to 15L, right? So that is the kind of demand in the market. So people who want to join in, not want to wait till the 4th or 5th day, you can go ahead and even sign up for our community. So now we have a community of over 1,000 people, right? So where we have more experts who are going to teach you. We have Mr. Rajiv sir, who is going to clearly, because if you are enjoying the current sessions, I'm sure that you'll enjoy those sessions as well, right? So how we have made Python easy, similarly, we have made AI bronze or the data science also easier for you, right? So let me share the link of that particular session also, link of the data science. Yes, so I've put it on the chat. So for our friends in YouTube, let me share it here. Okay. Thank you so much, Amrita. Thank you, Arslan. Thank you, Pawan Kumar. We have a lot of people on our social channels. Aryan, thank you so much. Oh, Sonali. So that is Sonali. Thank you so much. Right. Thank you, MM. Thank you, Aruna. Thank you, Karmegam. Thank you, Amrita. That's really lovely to see all of you coming in for another day, right? So if at all you are serious about taking this up, I request you to consider it. We are going to learn further, but I would request you to consider it so that you can have a career in this particular direction, right? So how many of you are interested in going? Yeah, so Sat, these particular sessions, Sat asks, is this a paid program? Basically, yeah. So there's only limited amount of knowledge we can share for free, because the certification that we give for the AI bronze is from IIT Madras. So now IIT Madras CCE is the program, is the joint association with Pixeltest. We are jointly giving this certification, and this certification is going to help you in your interviews, in your journey forward, right? So we are going to share more details also. But if at all you are interested, if you're going to sign up for this particular webinar link, I've shared it on the chat. If you were interested in the AI bronze program, if you sign up before the 4th or 5th day, you will be able to get a discount also, right? So this is how the program is shaped. Okay, amazing, right? So how many of you are planning on taking the data science as a serious career option? Type me in the chat box. Thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Prajakta. So definitely, so I'm going to share my details here, even because we are here to help, right? So if at all you are interested, you can even leave your contact details so that we are aware that you are trying to take this up forward. Okay, great, amazing. Yeah, so while Safari on YouTube, you ask about placement. So we provide you the placement assistance also. In the placement assistance, we will guide you on where to apply and how to apply and how to make your profile stronger, right? So all that is covered. Thank you so much for the question. Okay, so we're going to conclude our session by doing our Ho'oponopono practice, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much, Miles. Okay. So I request you to close your eyes. Thank you so much, DK. So this is a variation of the Ho'oponopono technique, which is the career Ho'oponopono, right? Yeah, so people who are interested, you can leave your contact numbers. That if that is the question, you can leave your contact number so that we can help you with more details as well. Okay. I request you to relax your breath. Your hand on your heart. Because we'll be repeating the statements for our career. Okay. I'm responsible for myself and my career. Dear career, I'm really sorry for not taking care of you. Please forgive me, dear career, for putting so much stress on you. Please forgive me, dear career, for not giving you enough time and practice. Thank you, dear career, in spite of all situations, for taking care of all my needs. Thank you, dear career, for fulfilling all your duties. Thank you so much. I know that I have not told you many times, dear career, I love you, even in your current situation and in any situation. Thank you so much. I request you to rub your hands together and put that energy to your face. Take a deep breath. Amazing. So you can just put one word in the chat box of how the exercise made you feel. Relaxing, peaceful. Thank you so much, everyone. Right. So it was positivity. Tushar says positivity. Manoj says calm. That's really nice. That's great. Okay. Thank you so much, Tushar sir, for expressing your interest. So the teams will soon team or I'll soon be trying to reach out to you and helping, making me feel good future, DK sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we'll see each other tomorrow. Great. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.